Hi, and welcome to day 6. We're here inside of Mark Twain's cave in Hannibal, Missouri, and we're able to play within the cave. And we're going to learn 3 exciting things today. For those that have been using your fingers, we're going to learn how to put our thumb under, and using that one, we're also going to learn how to do an upbeat for the songs, because some songs don't start right at the beginning of the measure. There's one note right before it. And the other thing is some rhythm. We're going to learn what's called the dotted eighth followed by a 16th. So enjoy this day, and we'll have some great shots around Hannibal, Missouri, and Mark Twain, and inside of his cave right here. So have a great day. Hi, and welcome to day 6. We're almost there for this week. I hope you're enjoying it. The 2 hymns that we had yesterday are a little challenging. Don't worry about it. Take it slow. Take it easy. It's coming. Today we're going to learn how to use our 5 fingers. I have had you just use the 1 finger, but now I'd like you to use the 5 fingers on there if you can. These numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with your thumb being the number 1. And the fingering sometimes on hymns can be a little bit easier than just jumping this way. If you find it's easier for the single finger now, that's fine. Let's learn how to do skip, step, and repeat with all of our 5 fingers. This is very easy. We'll put our thumb on C. Then we'll put our middle finger, our 3rd finger, on E. We've skipped over D. And then G, we'll put our little finger. Come back to our 3rd finger. We skipped over F right here. We didn't play it. And now we have C. Now let's take our thumb and put it on D. And we'll skip over E and go up to F. See how that's an F? C, or D, F, D. The next one is doing stepping. So we'll start with C. We'll step up to D. There's no white note in between. Then we'll do E, F with our 4th finger, and 5 with our little finger. And now let's come back down. F, E with our 3rd finger, D with our 2nd finger, and C. Now if we want to repeat the same note, whether it be on a line or a space, in this case we've got E on the first line, and we're playing it 3 times, and oh, by the way, we're using our 3rd finger. But this is E. So this is just repeating the same note when you see it. All right, let's do these exercises that will help us learn skip, step, and repeat. We're going to step up to D and then up to E. Now let's start with E, skip down to C with our thumb, and then D with our 2nd finger. This next one, let's take our 2nd finger, put it on F, and then go to G, G, and F. And this one, let's start with our first line on that. What note is that? Yes, it's G. G, G, F, G, and then to E, which is on the first line. Let's now put our 4th finger on G. Let's try it this way. We have G, G, and G. That's repeating 3 times. Then F, E, C, and then to D. These exercises are just to get your fingers to know how to go on different notes and different ways of playing it. Let's do with E, up to G, F, E, and then D, D, and then down to a C. Let's try this one with skipping. C to an E on that first line, C, E. Now let's just do a step. C, D, C, D, C, D. Up to our E, to our G, E, E, and G. This next one is C, G, F, G, F, G, G, F, G, G, F, D, F, F, E. A little harder to play with your fourth finger and your fifth finger, but it will come. Trust me on that one. Our last one is C, C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, C, E, G, E, C. Fantastic. Now go to the piano, practice these things, and have fun with them. But let's go back to some hymns like this Hope of Israel. We can look at it for example. I have a fingering up there, and it starts with the number 5 fingering. The idea is that the fingering will help you so you don't have to skip around so much. So it's a 5, and notice it goes down to a G, and so my second finger is already there at a G. I can come down to the E now with my thumb, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes it really easy, and you can go faster. Then we go from the 4th finger to the 1st finger, and then up to the 2nd finger, the 3rd, and to the 3rd finger, and then you bring your thumb down. The idea is that music, with music on the piano or the keyboard, if you can play notes sequentially with your fingers, it's a little easier than tapping it with just a single finger. So let me play this now with my right hand with the fingering. 5, 1, up to the 2, then down to the 1. Now 1 again. And then to a 1. By doing it with this kind of fingering, it might be easier for you. So go back on some of the songs that you've already learned and try doing the fingering in there. Put the fingering in there that would be most comfortable. What is the right fingering? There is no right fingering. Whatever is most comfortable for you. But if you start using your other fingering, you'll be able to do things a little bit faster and a little bit easier. There's one concept that I wanted to talk about. It's called the thumb under. This is where you go 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to put your thumb underneath your fingers to get to the next note. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So sometimes putting your thumb underneath that note or finger will make it a little bit easier for you. So I have it thumb under right here, and here's an example where you're on E, and then you go to an F, and then you go to a 1 finger, because now you're going to go up to 3, 5. Does that hymn sound familiar? Okay, that's a hymn called God Be With You, and we'll be learning that today, and so the fingering might help. Now the next concept I'd like to cover is called the upbeat. We've talked about that there's 3 beats to a measure and 4 beats to a measure, and most of the hymns that we have starts on 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, 4. But there are some hymns that have what's called an upbeat. You're going to play a beat or a part of a measure before the full measure, and this is the upbeat. Here's an example on this page where we have 4, 4, but we're going to start on C and play 1 beat before the full measures. So it's 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and. So this is an upbeat. Here's another example. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. The idea behind an upbeat is just that a lot of songs have that as the introduction, and I want you to be aware that it doesn't always start at the downbeat when you start playing. Okay, the last concept of rhythm. Let's review. We have a quarter note. We have a half note, which is 2 beats. A dotted half, which is 3 beats. Okay, we had those at the very beginning. Then we had a quarter note, which is 1, and then half of it, which was an 8th note. We had a dotted quarter note, which is a quarter and an 8th note. Don't worry if it's still confusing to you. Just know that we've covered that, and it's different kind of speeds that you play. There's one last one called a 16th note, which is twice as fast as the 8th note. Sometimes we'll have those, and the rhythm on that is bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. See how fast that is? On a quarter note, we can have 1, 2, 3, 4. On a 8th note, we can have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. With a 16th note, it's ya, da-da, bum, ba-dum. A little bit faster in that. One fun thing to do is say potato. And then you're going to click on the 1, and then you're going to say potato. On toe, you do it. So it's 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4 potato. Tongue-tied, isn't it? Well, try it and have fun, or you can do 1 ta 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 ta. You know, using a T sound can work. But 1 potato works. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4 potato. Hear that rhythm? Ta 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 ta. And when you have that sound in your mind, you'll know how to play the music a little bit better. So in this case right here, let's look. What does an dotted 8th note sound like? Well, the 16th note is 2 flags, okay? 2 flags on here. And a dotted 8th note is a 8th note with 1 flag with a dot, and that's equal to 3 of these 16th notes. So here's an example down here at the bottom. 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and let's do potato. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4 potato, 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4 potato. And this bottom line. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4 potato. I get tongue-tied on that one. It's just a little bit faster. We don't have it in too many of our hymns. We will have it in one of our hymns that we will be doing today. This is Come On, God Be With You. God be with you until we meet again. And if you'll pull out your music, you'll see here on the 3rd line where it says till we meet, till we meet. And that one you'll hear till we meet, till we meet. Do you hear that? Till we meet. You don't have to count it, you can just hear it. Till we meet, till we meet. So let me play this. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 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 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3. There's a little fermata there. Now here comes the 16th. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, play it here and we'll count it. Ready? 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's talk about what would be a good introduction to this one. Maybe the last line. And then the congregation starts. Now remember, the fingering on this can be either with your third finger, starting here with your third finger, go to 5, 2, and 3, or just your one finger. It can work too. Here's just one finger. Now in the song too, we have the rest. Remember the rest, the little squiggly mark, it's right here. So you go 1, 2, 3, rest on 4, play it up. We have a dotted quarter note, followed by the eighth notes. We have our dotted eighth note, followed by a 16th of the rhythm. If it's too complicated, don't worry about it. Just play the way it sounds like. And if you sing it or have somebody else sing it, you'll learn the rhythm very well. Let's look at God Be With You, our last song on here, our last hymn. Let's look at it a little bit. The chords are your C, G, C, F, just like we've had for all the other ones. At the very beginning, we have a dotted quarter note. We have some eighth notes. Notice on the second measure, we have a rest. That's for one beat. Then down on the third line, there's a fermata. We'll pause a little bit, and then we'll have the dotted eighth followed by a 16th note. And then again, that one right here, dum ba dum, for potato one. We have that kind of a rhythm pattern. Let's see what else that we have in here. If you notice on the third line where it says again, and then we say till we meet. Notice how the fingering goes underneath. 2, 3, 1, 3, 5. That makes it a little easier getting up to these notes up here. 2, 3, 1, 3, 5. So let me play it. I'll use the fingering that's there. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what we'll redo for an introduction, last four measures, the first four measures, let's look at it. If we just do the last four. That works. Or let's try doing the first 4 and then the last 4. Those are the first 4. Now we go to the last 4. This is a beautiful one for postlude music, and you might play it up here. That's a beautiful hymn. Not too hard, but it gives you an example of a dotted eighth of the 16th note, having your thumb go underneath your fingers. So, practice that. Come back for day 7. In day 7, we'll be looking at how to practice all the other hymns that you will have. So come back, practice this hymn. Practice the other hymns that you've had. That's a good review every day. Just start off and play the other hymns you have. Silent Night, some of the fun ones like Jingle Bells, Mary Had a Little Lamb, or whatever. Practice just short little sections, maybe 10-minute, 15-minute sections right now. Get your hands so that if you can, have it all kind of memorized too. That's a nice feeling to do. And what is memorization? It's just that your body knows what to do instead of looking at it. And sing if you can hear it. If you play a wrong note, so it doesn't matter. You're trying to get your hands to know where to go on the keyboard, especially the chords in the left hand. So we'll see you tomorrow. Good luck. Thank you.